Yes, everyone, you know what time it is. It's your boys Jack and Dave here, providing you guys the Twitter Reacts post what was, I think, an incredible turnaround by Spurs at sort of the 70th minute mark. I think Dave and I were preparing ourselves for the usual speeches, the usual rationalization of what's going wrong, how can we fix it, sort of kind of coming up with some type of therapy for you guys. But luckily, we didn't have to do that. We got to get the 3-1 win. Spurs were able to snatch 3 goals in what was like 12 minutes or something like that. Absolutely crazy. Also crazy, that's not even the first time that we've done that this season. But Dave, it was a must win. We got the win. Thoughts ahead of this and thoughts ahead of this Twitter Reacts.
First of all, greetings, my fellow winners. Welcome to the winner's circle. Hope you enjoy this show today. Look, Jack, I'm absolutely buzzing with it. This is where Spurs fans are at the best. I presume we're going to get a good mix of maybe frustration and absolute elation. So let's get into it. Let's see what they're throwing at us this week.
And first, we start off with of course, the Spurs, main admin page, and they've just pulled out an absolute beauty of a pic here of James Maddison, celebrating the way that I was pretty much from Romero's winner there. And Dave, I mean, Maddison, he clearly, not his best performance for me, but he does show that he cares with that celebration.
No, look, it shows that he cares. I think it's more relief out of anything because he didn't have a good game himself. But, look, the one thing you can't accuse this team of is there is togetherness there.
And speaking of togetherness, you could definitely look at this Emerson Royale slap on the chest there for Brendan Johnson, and also Richarlison making his way all the way down. He's supposed to be injured, but Richie has decided to join the celebrations on the corner flag there. So that's the teamwork and the camaraderie that I think you're referring to. Craig here, big up Craig. Love that Richarlison came belting into the pitch to celebrate. Yeah, maybe that's where you had told me, Dave, that Richarlison thinks he could be back for the Aston Villa game. Maybe when he made that goal celebrating run, maybe that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, he gave an interview to ESPN Brazil after the game, and he said he could be back on, he's hoping to make it for the Aston Villa game, and he could be back for it. And then Postecoglou, straight after in his post-match press conference, quashed them rumours and said, no, it's 2 to 3 weeks. I think Richarlison might have got carried away with himself in the celebrations, Jack.
And Carly T saying, nobody speak to me for 3 to 5 business days after watching Mickey Van de Ven and Pedro Porro. Probably the most handsome pairing of a backline embracing at the end of the game there. Definitely love to see Pedro showing that passion as we know he can. And Carly T saying, lives were changed by this bad kiss. Great work, Carly. Great work. And Christian saying, Mike Dean saying Tottenham weren't awarded a penalty because Werner's foot was planted and the Palace player kicked it. Unbelievable, really. I thought that was a foul as well, Dave, last time I checked.
Sometimes I think I'm not living on planet Earth, Jack. Sometimes, logic just doesn't logic anymore. I think that's the definition of a foul, no? Like he says, like Christian says there, definition of a foul. I mean, it's absolutely shocking. I think AU picked up 2 free kicks for the exact same challenges that went in on Werner not giving. Romero, and I'm going to hark back to it, wins the ball against Chelsea, kicks the ball first, then catches the player, gets red carded and a penalty. Werner goes down, nothing given. It's absolutely shocking. But Jack, what annoyed me was what you alluded to. When it's against us, it seems like we're sitting here for 5-6 minutes. But, as soon as it's Tottenham, quick, no, not enough there, let's move on. Doesn't get any attention whatsoever. But when it's against us, they roll out the CSI, the crime scene investigation. It's disgusting.
They don't even bother to cut to that transition scene of like where they show the VAR and then they show like the panel of like the actual crime or the incident itself. Like we never even get to that stage. Like I'd kill just to get to that, just to be able to see the replay. Like we don't even get replays for some of these. Like it's amazing. But yeah, I guess it's just a lucky sort of privilege that every other team gets to have, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get a penalty for the rest of the season. I'd put my house on that. We're not going to get a penalty for the rest of the season. No,
probably not. That's probably the bet that's going to come in. Get a fiver on it.
They'd have to break our leg in the penalty box, I think, in order for them to even look at it. They won't give it straight away. They would perhaps have to send it to VAR, but then they'd probably just be forced to give it. Pedro Porro on Instagram, 3 points plus N17 plus the best center back in the world. Everybody showing love for the Rambam, and he not only gave a loving embrace to Mickey Van de Ven, but also to our man Romero. Tottenham Maskey saying, F hanging this in the Louvre, make a statue of this outside the Chick King. It looks good in that retro kit Richie does. And it looks good with the hair, I must say, too. The tattoos, like he looks like kind of a Tottenham hipster.
What I love about that is he had to have had that on underneath his jacket. So, I presume he's gone and bought it. I don't think it's one that'll be, just given to him because he's a Tottenham player. You don't see anyone else walking around in them. So I presume he's went and bought it. I absolutely love it. To be honest with you, I think that's probably thumbnail worthy,
Yeah, it is.
for a game day one day. I think he looks good. Fair play to Richie. And one thing no one can ever accuse this guy of is being fully committed to this football club.
And who was sitting behind him or standing behind him in the club shop while he was checking out to buy that one? Let us know, everybody. Maybe someone ended up, giving him a discount of some sort. The Palace saying having Van de Ven in defense should be considered cheating, to be honest. The Palace fan realizing that Mickey Van de Ven, he's just not fair. He really isn't. And I'd agree with that. The moment you think you're played clean through and behind, and then the guy just comes out of nowhere just to ruin your day. He really is probably unfair.
They're so used to seeing Mateta bully centre halves, and then Van de Ven just says, no, not happening today. He's the cheat code. Love the guy. He's class.
Mickey the cheat code. Jason saying, Eze about to drop a we should buy him in the summer performance. I still reckon we would win, though. 3-1 for me, Bentancur, Son, and Werner. What a prediction here from Mr. Jason. You can see probably why that blew up a little bit for him. So big up to you, Jason. The Spurs Express saying, didn't allow a single shot in the last 30 minutes of today's match against Crystal Palace. Locked things down at the back. I felt like Spurs were also just having to take the game to Palace, and Palace were kind of forced to defend instead of being able to attack towards the end of the game, right, too? Like, it was also, they just had to reconcile that this next 30 minutes, like, Spurs are just going to be wave after attack after attack after attack. So we almost didn't give them a chance to attack because we were attacking too much ourselves.
Yeah, look, I think you're absolutely spot on. I think Palace, they went 1-0 up. I think they were happy to try and see it out. And even when it was 1-1, 10 minutes to go, I think they were happy to try and see it out. Look, that's not a stat I'm going to be, rocking my socks off tonight for sure.
And probably would explain how they only had no shots in the last 30 minutes. This was Palace's formation, by the way, everyone. I must say, I'm a big fan of the, what would you call this, like a 9-1? Where
it's
like
ideal formation, Jacko.
Like an 8-2 or something like that. I think it's
wet stuff for Jacko.
It really is. I mean, it's just get it launched central. Really, it's just get it launched the one man up top, and see if everybody can catch up to him. This is the sort of tactics that I do live for. Simon Yemain saying the first thing was to kiss the badge. I never want to hear he is a liability again. I never want to hear his loyalty questioned again. Romero is 100% in everything he does and everything he feels. I adore that about him. Beautifully written from Simon there.
It's like poetry, like the great, what was it, give me a great poet, Jack. What's a great poet's name?
Great poet's name. Jeez, I'm also blanking on the spot here. You have Mark Twain?
There we are. It's like you could go down like Mark Twain, you go down in history. That well done, Simon.
That was about to be embarrassing for the both of us that we were not about to name a single poet. Shows how well read. Shows how well read the both of us are. Cody Max has Palace completed 61 passes in that first half compared to 410 for Spurs. Jesus, they did not come to play, lol. No, they didn't. But I mean, they scored the first goal and they gave us a good scare. Let's be honest, Cody Mack. Tam says, I see huge progress from this time last season. We've gone from having an older than average squad to having one of the youngest. We are never going to be world beaters after one season. There's a proper connection between this group of players, manager, and the fence. Also very well written there from Tamsin. Yeah. She has a great Twitter account if you do want to check it out there, everybody. Digital Spurs, David, thought you liked this one. Son dropping back and playmaking from the center forward spot all game and then bagging himself a goal out of nowhere to steal it everywhere I go. I see his face. Sonny, I said it during the watch along. I was like, why is Sonny having to play like Harry Kane for this game? Like, why is he having to do what Harry Kane had to do all those years where no one is doing anything and then he has to drop all the way back to the center backs just to pick the ball up? Like, Sonny had to do that today. I felt bad for him.
I felt bad for him completely, We couldn't get him into it. When I had to see him drop back nearly to Van de Ven just to receive the ball, I nearly started crying for him. It was paining me.
He had to embrace his inner Harry Kane, Sonny, tonight. He really
Yeah.
did. The most goals from a center back this season, says THFC Matthews. I'm curious if that's true, actually, because if that is, again, more reason for the Romero haters to be in the mud. Digital Spurs says, me watching Romero kiss the bash.
It's definitely, it does bring tears to your eyes. It's the passion in it as well. He's gone for it. He loves it. He's giving it 100.
He's one of those players that you just love to know and find out that he's fully behind this
Yeah.
club and fully behind the badge. Michael Hamilton saying, anyone else knows Romero header came from a move which started from a throw-in, not a corner. Why was our center back in the center forward position in open play? I think actually it might have originally come from a set piece or something, and then it was knocked out of play, and then Emerson just quickly took like a throw-in and sort of caught the whole Crystal Palace team pretty much out of shape, and even the whole Spurs team out of shape. I just think we just took it very quickly there and ended up just getting a goal pretty much out of nowhere in that situation. Cudi Romero saying, this is the way, great victory, 3 points. We will continue working to improve, but this is the way all together, always. Was he unlucky to probably be missing from the man of the match poll, do you think?
No, I don't think so, Jack. The chance he nearly gave up to Mateta near the end of the game could have cost us dearly, only that Emerson Royale saved them. But then he went up the other end and got the winner. To be honest with you,
Good
I was
point.
about to cane Romero after the game. I thought he was way too slow on the ball at times. Mickey Van de Ven got the idea, one touch, move it on, it go to Romero, only needs 5-6 touches. So no, I don't think it's harsh
Good point.
whatsoever. But I love the guy. Still doesn't change.
Cody Mack saying, never was a doubt. Indeed, Cody never was. Zoe, love this gift that she's chosen. Sun Hugman, Oliver Skip, and Brendan Austin, Ebereich as all sort of embracing and hugging each other. Love that from Zoe. Brendan Johnson, some boy, says, Billy, thoughts and prayers go out to the Peacock feed match commentary for having to suffer that Spurs comeback victory. If anybody doesn't know what Prop Spur is on about, is that they do have a lot of ex-Chelsea, ex-Arsenal sort of kind of crew in that NBC Peacock kind of a brigade. And it's unfortunate that they don't have enough Spurs representation, but it does... It becomes a little obvious in certain games, their lack of love or their lack of praise for any time that Spurs do end up getting a winner of any kind. They really don't seem as enthused as it when it happens for another team. I definitely agree with you there, Prop Spur. Is that something common? I mean, I think you think that's also common, right? With Sky Sports, a lot of Liverpool, Chelsea, yeah.
Oh, they were sitting there hating it. You never get the great commentary moments, out of the commentators when it comes to Spurs. It's like they almost, it's pain in their voice when Spurs go on and get a winner. You never get the great celebratory moments that you do with the Aguero moment and stuff like that. So, completely agree with it. They hate us. I've been saying it for years. Everybody, bar Tottenham fans, hates Tottenham.
Patty's
I
saying,
love it.
Patty's saying, we are not coming back in this game. So poor and lackluster. Well, Patty... We did. And I think he had to quote tweet himself like 4 times in this game. So poor Patty. A lot of revisionism. Nabil N17 saying, isn't it just the angle, or is it that wall that's set up really poorly? Looks like a free shot for Eze. Our set piece defending needs major work. Not only corners, Dave, but apparently free kicks we need work on.
Do you know, my initial reaction to it was, what way has he set that wall up? But when I look at it, I think he's actually set that wall up for the left-footed strike, the guy that's standing there to the right-hand side of the ball right now. But Eze comes and hits it. But regardless, Vicario should never have been beaten in the area that Eze put it into. That's the area he should have covered. But look, the wall needs to be set up a lot properly than that. For a right-footed player, that's an absolute dream. You bend that round the ball into the top left or to the top right from there. So, yeah, he's right. It does need work.
Just get it over the wall, it's in the net. Get it around keeper
Sure.
to the right, it's in the net. It's sort of take your pick, take your choice. Just have to strike it cleanly. Hotspur related, Richarlison wearing a vintage Spurs home shirt for the 1997 through 99 era on ESPN Brazil. Just like I said, he looks like a Spurs hipster in that one. Simon Humane saying, we turned that match from 1-0 to 2-1 in 3 minutes, from 1-0 down to 3-1 in 11 minutes, and that's not the first time this season either. We are quickly teaching teams in this league, never count us out. We might not always be first, but we never stop. He's like you, Dave. Never stops. That's Simon Yemaine. He never does. And last but
Look,
not... Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
the catchphrase wasn't just plucked out of thin air. There's a reason behind it, and that's it.
Yeah. And then last but certainly not least, Billy saying, how good is Mickey Van de Ven? I cannot believe it. Very good, Billy. Almost too good by the looks of things, this guy Mickey. He's becoming unfair, it seems to. Like, fans are now complaining that he's just unfair. And that's when you realize how good he is. He's not even just a player that they don't even want to bother, like, like creating some rivalry or anything about it. They're just like, get this guy off the pitch. This is just not fair. He's a cheat code. So that's terrific to hear.
That's great. Mickey Ice Cold Van de Veens, that's what I nickname him, Jack. It's like watching royalty. He's just class out there. The more we say about him, I think the more injustice I do the guy. He's that good. Great performance from him. And look, more of the same. I did say to everybody when we signed him, we've got a £100 million player on our hands.
And we've zoomed through it there, everybody. Thank you again for watching these Twitter Reacts. Hopefully you smash that like button at the very beginning of this show, because we do pump these out right after the game day before we wrap up the rest of our evenings and the rest of our weekends. Hopefully you're having a great rest of your weekend, everybody. But Dave, any final words before wrap up this Twitter Reacts?
Yeah, look, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure you smash that like button. Winners are grinners. That's what they say. I'm off to have a lambuna. Hopefully you guys enjoy your the rest of your day, the rest of your weekend.
An eagle biryani is what he's about to have. But
Sounds good,
come on, you Spurs. In the big Ange we trust. We never stop. We'll be seeing you, everybody.